Hello, 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 my beautiful peeps out there. How are you guys doing on this, I'm going to say cloudy Thursday, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we need that little cloud, you know? Sometimes we go through a little cloud. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to burn my sage first, guys. My sinus is acting up, guys, so please excuse my sinus. So I'm gonna burn my sage before I get started, because I had posted something. I don't know if it was Sunday or Monday. I think it was Monday morning. But I had posted something that I know a lot of you guys out there are like struggling. Trying to keep my sage burned so I can start it off with some positive energy, guys. Because you know, I'm all about the positive energy. But anyway, I had posted a video to uplift you guys starting your day, you know, your whole week, starting Monday. I know a lot of you guys out there are struggling. You're struggling with something in your life. It can be your health. It could be your job. You know, it could be something personal. You know, it could be your kids, you know. But I know that a lot of us are struggling with things in our life. So I want to talk about that, and I want to give some of you guys out there some good positive advice to try to help you look at your situation in a positive way, you know, because this is what my podcast is about. I'm trying to uplift people out there to change your mindset. You know, change your mindset into a positive mindset. You know, and I know a lot of you guys out there are watching, you know, I'm not going to say, well, yeah, watching, or some of you guys out there are feeling the switch. Like you feel like your life is switching. It's because God is trying to take you on another journey in your life. You know, a lot of times people don't pay attention of their life shifting. You know, sometimes, you know, you outgrown things and God is trying to shift, you know, trying to show you in another direction where you need to go. You know, a lot of times we're afraid of guidance. We are. You know, sometimes you have to sit back and you're going to have to ask God to guide you, you know, and I just want to talk about that, you know, to help someone out there that's, you know, watching now that is struggling with something in their life. It doesn't matter what it is, you know, you're still struggling with that in your life. So I'm going to put this sage down and I'm going to get started, you know, because I know a lot of people out there right now is probably saying to themselves that they are tired, that they want to just give up on life, you know. Don't give up on life. And I know you get tired, you know, whatever situation you're going through, and it's okay to feel tired. It's okay, you know, but as long as you don't give up, you know, that's the most important thing. You know, but it's okay to say that you're tired. Don't be afraid to say that you're tired. Don't be afraid to say that you're scared, you know, because sometimes we don't understand of the things that we're struggling, you know, in our life, you know. So don't be afraid to ask, you know, for someone advice, you know, but when you go to that person, make sure you go to that person that will give you that positive, you know. And you also have to watch the people that you go to, and you have to look at them and ask yourself, have they grown, you know, from the person that you knew back then? You know, you have to ask yourself that, because you don't want to go to people that is still right there, like right there, you know. So watch the people that you go to get advice from anybody. You know, if you're noticing that you're going to a person that's, you know, you're getting advice from, and you notice that that person is not growing, that you notice that person is just still there, don't go to that person. You know, I know you might love that person. I know you, but you got to understand, you have to go to people that's going to uplift you. And also, you have to see how they deal with things and how they've grown. You know, you don't want to continue being with people that's just right there. You know, it's about growth. So I'm going to get started. Of course, I had to write my stuff down on a, card, because, my ass getting up in age and I can't remember all that shit, so hey. So I'm going to get started. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're a failure. A lot of times people might get caught up in something that they're struggling real hard in life. And the first thing we do blame ourselves. We do. We beat ourselves up a lot of the things that we find ourselves struggling in life. Don't look at your struggling right now as a failure. Don't do that. You have to change your mindset. Look at your struggle right now and ask yourself, what are you learning through that struggle? Always try to look at things in a positive way. We're so used to everything, every time we find ourselves struggling, we always want to pull out the negativity, the negative things out of that struggle. We have to stop that. We have to. Because if you don't realize that if you continue looking at your struggles in a negative way, it's going to keep you there. It will. I'm telling you. It's going to keep you there. It's going to keep you stuck. And then that's when you start, not really trying to learn from it, or you're not trying to push yourself out of it because you're so caught up in that negativity. Stop that. We're going to have to learn how to switch that struggle, switch it into something positive. Look at it. It's a reason why you're struggling. It might be a choice that you made, and then sometimes you might struggle out of your control. We have to stop beating ourselves up of the things that is out of our control. We have to stop that. We have to. Everyone struggles and comes upon a time where things are challenging, so don't feel like you're the only person that's out there struggling. I don't care how a person, you might go by their house and you feel like they got their shit together, this and that. A lot of times people struggle in silence. A lot of times you wouldn't even know a person is struggling because some people don't, bring that attention to themselves. And it's, and which is a good thing because you're teaching yourself how to deal with things in silence. Sometimes silence means a lot in your life because it gives you that moment to have that quietness. A lot of times people don't realize how silence plays a big part in your life. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning how to keep myself in that silent mode. It's hard. It's a struggle, because I'm so used to reacting to things that I feel like that's normal. My sinus is acting up, guys. I feel like that's normal. So by me reacting, I feel like that's a normal thing for me to do. But not realizing sometimes your reaction, you need to be silenced. That's hard. Because sometimes you just really want to go, rah, but we have to learn how to teach ourselves how to be silenced. We do. Periods of struggles are when we learn so much about ourselves, how strong we are, and what we do and don't want our lives to be. Yes, struggling teach you about yourself. I feel like the things that I have struggled in my life, I feel like it taught me a lot. It taught me how to really open up and really learn about myself. Because a lot of times we think that we know about ourselves, but we really don't, because a lot of times we're afraid to peel everything off and be vulnerable. We're afraid of that, you know. But I feel like when you go through your struggles, it teaches you how strong you really are. You know, it teaches you of not going back to that place. You know, a lot of times people don't realize that they struggle always be the same struggle. Because I feel like if things keep repeating in your life, I feel like God is trying to tell you you're not getting it. You know, and I feel like when God keep putting things in your life over, and you notice, because I know a lot of you guys are sitting out there, you know, if you're really going deep into yourself and really trying to learn yourself, you cannot tell me that you had several things that kept repeating in your life. And you kept wondering why things are continue repeating in my life. It's because God is trying to tell you that you need to get deep into yourself and find out what's going on with you. Because a lot of times we want to play the victim because we're so afraid to face our true self. So if you're struggling right now, look at the thing that you're struggling, you know, what you're going through right now. It could be financial, you know. If you're going through a financial struggle, it's something how you're dealing with your money. You're not good dealing with your money. You're going to have to try to find ways to help you. You know, if you have a friend girl, or say, for instance, if you're married, if your husband is more better with the financial part, you know, because as women, you know, we want to be in control all the damn time, but sometimes you got to step back, you know, and you got to look at it and see if your husband is a better financial person that, you know, handle things, and you're not, you know, you might need to switch that. You know, you got to find things, what you're doing wrong, you know, if you're struggling through that. That's just like if you're struggling through love. You got to ask yourself what makes you happy when it comes to a relationship, you know, and you have to look at your partner and you have to write down the things that what makes you happy in your relationship. And if your partner is not adding up to majority of the things that you want in a relationship, it's time for you to go deep with yourself and ask yourself, you know, are you going to be able to be a better person for yourself even though your partner is not giving you the things that makes you happy? You got to start being real with yourself. And, you know, and that's the biggest thing, you know, the things that we struggle, God is bringing those things. I'm going to say the things that is out of our control. God is bringing it to us because I feel like that's a lesson that he wants us to learn from. Now, the things that we can control and we're struggling, you're weak. You're weak by something. Because I feel like the things that we can control, we should control. But a lot of us out there are struggling with the things that you have control of. But you chose that. You know, so watch the things that, you know, you put yourself in and you starting to struggle. You know, a lot of times people get caught up of trying to save people, especially in a relationship. If you find yourself struggling in a relationship with a person, something in that relationship is holding you down. You know, a lot of times people want to make excuses for people that just don't have a get-go about themselves. Some people just like to stay the same. Some people feel like struggling is what you're supposed to do. No. You have to learn from that struggling. You know, you have to work together. You know, you have to work together. You both have to get into yourself, learn about yourself, so you can have an open mind to help each other. You know, struggle is the proof that you have not been overtaken by your enemy. Remember that. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling, struggle is that the enemy has not overtaken you. Don't allow what you're struggling right now take control of your life. Don't. Because it can. It can take control of your life because you have built up so much negative thoughts in your mind. You have been around nothing but negative people. So you feel like that's a normal thing to deal with, to go through. Look at the things that you're struggling with and change your mindset. Change your mindset. We all face challenge that makes us question ourselves. We do. Sometimes we need to question ourselves. You know, it's nothing wrong with having a moment and sit there, because for me, it helps me. I have to talk to myself. You know, I know that's crazy, but I do. I do that is because I can hear myself. You know, and I can question myself, because a lot of times when you question yourself and you answer that question, you know the truth. Come on. When we question ourselves and ask ourselves a question, that's just like you know, I say this all the time. Okay, Keisha, like, really? What the fuck is you really thinking about? Like, come on. Get the shit together. Like, you know, you have to question yourself, because sometimes the things that you're struggling in your life, it's like you putting the shit on yourself. Like, reality. I mean, you putting the shit on yourself, what you're struggling with. I mean, come on. That's why I say a lot of people are afraid to be real with themselves. You got to learn how to be true to yourself and be real to yourself. You know, come on. You have to get it together. You know, get your shit together. So, I'm going to give you guys things that I feel like will help you, you know, to uplift you, you know, while you going through the struggle. You know, 1, take care of yourself. You know, we forget about ourselves. When you're dealing with something in your life that you're struggling with, you do forget about yourself. We do. Your well-being matters, both physical and mental. You know, I was struggling with something, and it was really messing with my mental really bad, y'all. Like, really bad. You know, and that's the first time that I had anything in my life that fucked with my mental. And I have been through some shit. But I never experienced anything that, you know, and if you ever experience of anybody like fucking with your mental and you overcome it and you, hey, I give you high five. People don't realize, you know, your mental plays a big part in your life. you know, and some people might touch that, you know, and I just didn't like the feeling, you know, I just didn't like that, you know, I didn't like that feeling, you know, and all I could think of is just pray up to God and ask God to guide me, you know, to help me, you know, and I did that, you know, I burned a lot of sage, you know, because I burn sage, guys, real bad. You know, I have to get that negative energy, and when you're not used to having negative energy that's just on you, whew, yeah. But physical, y'all, we have to really start taking care of our bodies. We do. You know, March will be 4 years that I haven't eaten meat. I still eat seafood, but I try not to eat so much seafood. My goal is to be a full vegan. That's my goal. I'm taking baby steps. That's my small little goal. I'm taking baby steps, you know, because I'm teaching myself, you know, of being healthy, and also programming in my mind. You have to watch the things that you put inside of your body, you know, because a lot of us have experienced, you know, high blood pressure, you know, diabetes, you know, lupus, you know, a lot of us, you know, is like, it's dealing with, you know, things like that. But I am trying to break the curse. You know, I'm trying to be more healthy, you know, and I think I'm doing pretty good. You know. It takes a lot of dedication, you know. You have to be committed to it, you know. But I'm learning, you know, it's a lot of things that I do eat vegan stuff, and then it's a lot of things that I don't, you know. Well, not as much. It's the things that I like to eat that's not vegan. But I know I've been posting like little videos of little stuff that I'll make up. You know, I love bean burgers, you know. I make all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to get my husband on that, you know, but, you know, he still eat meat or whatever, but hey. And also, too, you know, as we get older, you know, I am in my 50s. I'm 53 years old. I'm learning now to, like, take naps, like, rest, like, sit your ass down, because, you know, we're so used to our bodies moving, but as we get older, we do have to take a moment to rest, because I know me personally, my body would shut me all the way fucking down, like, ooh, bitch, you're not going nowhere. It would shut me down. So that's one of the things that I feel like it will help you once you get into yourself, you know, and take care of yourself. You know, the things that you're struggling, it will give you a clear mind, and you'll feel good about yourself, you know, because a lot of times when you're struggling, you know, you do feel bad about yourself. 2, surround yourself with positivity. You know, like they always say, you know, the company that you surround yourself with is the people, you know. You want to surround yourself with people that's going to uplift you, and that's going to guide you and give you some good, positive advice. You know, that's why I say early in the video, watch the people that you go to get advice. You know, because a lot of times people want to speak on things and tell you what you need to do, and you realize and you look at them, they ain't doing shit about their lives. You know, so watch the people that you go to get advice, you know, whatever you're going through, and try your hardest to surround yourself with positive people. You know, I am watching a lot of people, you know, down my page that is realizing that they're finding themselves, you know, not being around certain people anymore. You know, that's just God telling you that you have grown, you have moved on, you know, and don't be afraid of that. You know, don't be afraid of that at all, you know. 3, set your small goals, break down your biggest dream in achieving steps. Whatever goals that you have, don't give yourself no high, like you're supposed to make that goal in a year. Don't do that. Start off with the small goals that you want to accomplish. Start off with the small ones first. That's why I say, my biggest thing, I want to be a full vegan. So I'm starting off small because I'm teaching myself. It's okay to set goals, but start off with the small goals, because a lot of times when you set high, you give yourself a year or whatever, you're breaking yourself down. You're going to struggle. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. 4, life is a continuous journey of learning to embrace change and adapt to new situations. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow. Remember that. Whatever challenge that you're dealing with right now or you're struggling with, look at it as a growth. Look at that situation and find in that situation where you was weak at. Once you find out in that situation where you was weak at, work on yourself. People are afraid to work on themselves. Don't be afraid to work on yourself. That's the only way that you can change things in your life. 5, stay grateful. It's always something to be thankful for. That's why I tell you guys, start appreciating the little things in your life. We don't realize the little things in our life is bringing us more happiness, more love. Because we're so busy focusing on the big things that's going to make us happy. No. It's the little things that's going to make you happy. Trust me, it is. It could be your grandbaby come by and give you a hug and give you a smile. That's bringing happiness. That's bringing love in your life. And reflect on the positivity in your life. Stop reflecting on the negative things that's going on in your life. Stop putting that in your mind. We have to realize the things that we constantly think about in a negative way, we're programming that in our mind. So you got to start looking at things in a positive way so you can start programming positive things in your mind, guys. We have to break this curse. We have to start trying to live a better life. We have to start bringing more love and more happiness in our lives. Life is not supposed to be sadness. Stop. You're not supposed to be sad in your life. You're supposed to be happy in your life. But we struggle with things because we're so afraid to speak on things. Because in our mind, we had it programmed that you're not supposed to speak on anything that goes on with you. Period. But that's a lie. That's why so many people are dealing with their mental. Because they don't know how. Sorry, guys. They don't know how to express what they're feeling inside. A lot of people don't know how to express their feelings. That's why a lot of people deal with a lot of bullshit because they don't know how to express themselves. They so worried about protecting that person and not realizing you're hurting yourself. Come on, guys. Break that curse. Stop telling your kids not to express how they feel. Stop telling them to suck it up. Stop telling your best friend to suck it up. Stop telling your husband, your wife to suck it up. Stop. That's why I tell you guys, stop pacifying your life. Stop. If you continue allowing people to pacify you or you pacifying yourself, that's how your life is going to continue being pacified. Stop. Break the curse. It's nothing wrong to express what you're dealing with, how you're feeling. I feel like if you have a person that you feel comfortable of expressing how you feel, that person should not make you feel like you can't speak on it. You should have somebody that you can just release the things that you're dealing with inside. It's good to let it out, guys. It is. Stop being afraid. Stop letting people tell you not to get the shit out. Stop. The ones that's telling you not to get your shit out, look at their life. Look what they're dealing with. Come on. Change your mindset. Change your mindset. I mean, that's on some real shit. Change your mindset. You know, we got to break this curse. We have to. We have to. And we have to keep, you know, we have to break the curse because this young generation, they need help. They do. That's why this young generation don't know how to express themselves. And they feel like when they do express themselves, people don't get them. We have to allow people to be themselves. I don't care if that person wants to walk around and just talk to theirself. Allow that person to be theirself. We're so afraid to be ourselves. We are. Look at me. I change up all the time, but I'm not afraid to be myself. Look. I'm not afraid to be myself. That's when it comes to you, really want to learn about you. You got to be true to yourself. You got to stop pleasing others. You have to. Positive influence can help you see the light during dark times. That's why I tell you guys, and I had to learn that, you know, trust me guys, it wasn't easy. It took me years to get where I'm at now. So I don't want you guys thinking that this happened overnight, because it's not going to happen overnight, guys. It takes practice. And when you fall off, you have to get back up and follow that track. You got to follow it. You got to allow God to guide you. You do. You know, you have to. You have to take that mask off and be true to yourself. You know, it's time for us to bring more love in our life and more happiness in our life. We have to. So, I'm going to read a couple things. Like I told you, I have to write this shit down, y'all. And these are just my opinions on things, okay? It's okay if you're not yourself right now. It's okay. Trust me. It's okay to tell somebody, hey, today, I'm not okay. Stop being afraid to tell people that you're not okay. And I had to learn that. Because we're so used to, and like I say, go back. We have that program in our head to tell people that we're okay when we're not okay, guys. It's okay to tell someone that you're not okay. It's okay. That's a part of life, to not feel okay some days. That's why I tell you guys, change your mindset. Change your mindset. Program in your head and tell yourself, it's okay to not be okay today. It's okay if I want to take a moment and I want to scream. It's okay. It's okay that I don't want to be bothered. It's okay. It's okay. I'm telling you guys, today, It's okay to be not okay. It's okay. A lot of you guys doesn't know how to feel. 1 minute, you could be laughing, having a good time. And the next minute, you could be zoned out. And I know a lot of you guys are feeling what I'm talking about. 1 minute, you can just be laughing, like, and the next minute, you just zoned out. It's okay to go through that. I feel like that's a process of you healing. You know, because a lot of times we are afraid to heal. We tell ourselves that we're healed, but we're really not healed. And I am learning because I had to take a moment and stop and be silent. And I had to tell myself, you're not healing yourself. You're pacifying your pain. You're trying to block that pain. And when you block that pain, you're not healing yourself. And I had to learn that I had to stop blocking that pain and let that pain come out. And when I allowed that pain to come out, I found myself vulnerable. You know, sometimes God will put you through a struggle and you thinking you're going through a struggle of what you think it is, but God will switch that and make you realize what that true struggle is. You know, the thing that I was struggling last year, it fucked with my mental, but it allowed me to realize I have to stop holding on to pain. I have to release it. I have to be vulnerable. I have to face it. Because we don't want to face our pain. We don't. That's why a lot of us put that pain in a back burner. Back burner. That's why when we go through things, that pain come back up. You know, sometimes when we're dealing with things in our life, some of us turn to alcohol. Some of us turn to drugs, and I mean hard drugs, to take away that pain. I like to drink. I like to drink beer. And as bad as I was struggling with, that's what I wanted to do. But I had to tell myself, you're not facing your pain. You're trying to cover up your pain. You don't need anything to make things worse when you're trying to release that pain. You have to face your pain head on. You do. And that's a part of your journey of learning about yourself, guys. The only way you're going to heal yourself, you have to face your pain head on. I don't care what your pain is. You have to face that pain head on in order for you to heal. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. I was still holding on to pain on a lot of shit. I was so used to when people hurt me, or if I'm dealing with death, I suck that shit up. I zip it up. And I keep on moving. But then when God brought a situation in my life last year, I ain't have no choice to face it head on. Because if I didn't face it head on, my mental would have been really, really like there. Like there. And it's some real shit, guys. You gotta face your pain head on. That's the only way you're gonna heal yourself. You know, and I am so glad that God brought that struggle. Trust me, it was a struggle. But I'm glad that God brought that. I am. Because I feel good. He allowed me to release. He allowed me to face that pain head on. He allowed me to be vulnerable. And I mean vulnerable. And what I learned out of that, I have to build up my strength. I do. You know. I know a lot of you guys out there are afraid to cry. Because there it goes back, like I tell you guys, it's programmed in our mind that crying is a bad thing. Crying is not a bad thing, guys. That's why I say you have to switch your mindset. You have to remove the things that you have programmed in your mind. And a lot of you guys have it programmed in your mind, crying is a bad thing. People are not supposed to see you cry. Change your mindset. It's nothing wrong with crying. Because sometimes you cry when you're happy. You know, sometimes you have to release. You have to release it. You know, you don't have to always cry in front of people to release those tears. Like me, I cry a lot of times in the shower. You know, I cry of happy tears. I cry of sad tears. But I release that feeling inside of me. You know, I could be driving and all of a sudden I'm crying. It's because God is telling us that we are human. Don't stop that feeling to come out. And that's what we do. We stop that. Don't. You know, especially like with men, you know. It feels beautiful to watch a man cry. Because I feel like if you see a man cry in front of you, I feel like he'll allow you to see his vulnerability, his sensitive side. You know. And don't stop a man from crying. Allow him to get that out. Because, you know, men do have a lot of pressure on them. They do. You know, men do struggle with a lot. You know, they do. You know, and I am teaching my husband how to be more open of his feelings. Because men don't know how to express how they're feeling, like what they're going through, you know, because they're so taught of, hey, to be a man, you have to be just tough person, but that's a curse. Men should be allowed to be vulnerable. You know, men should allow to cry. You know, men should be allowed to sit there and tell a woman that they love how they're feeling inside. And I am teaching my husband to come to a point that he can be comfortable of expressing what he's feeling at that moment, you know, with no judgment. You know, he does, you know, express things, but he doesn't express things on a man point of view. Like, you know, a lot of men have a lot that they deal with. You know, a lot of men are taking care of their parents. You know, a lot of men are taking care of their kids. They're taking care, you know, the household. You know, they have to deal with this. They got to deal with that. You know, they struggle with a lot of things. But we as women don't allow them to be vulnerable and to express of how they're feeling inside. We expect the men to always just think about us. But it doesn't work like that, guys. You have to take a moment to think about your partner or your, you know, whoever you're dealing with. You have to take a moment to think about what they're dealing with every day in their life. You know, because a lot of times partners don't actually express to each other what they're struggling with every day in their life. But you got to open up and you got to be honest with each other to, you know, to know what your partner, you know, what he's dealing with. You know, because men struggle in silence. They do. But we have to allow men to open up, you know, to express the things that they're dealing with. You know, we can't be selfish women. We can't, you know, we can't. You know, especially if you're going in a journey of learning about yourself, you should uplift your partner and teach your partner how to learn about their self. You know, you have to do that. That's why I say you have to change your mindset. You know, you have to, you know, if it's certain things that you want in your life, you have to stand by it and you have to work on it and you have to, you know, you have to bring your partner along with it, because it's not going to be fair that you're working on yourself but your partner is still, that don't work. That don't work, guys. Don't think 2024 is going to make a new you. A lot of you guys is hotline talking about, oh, 2024, I'm going to be this new person. It doesn't work like that, guys. It don't. You're living in a fantasy world. Make a new you. That's going to make a new you. You have to start with the things that you're not happy with yourself. You know, you have to start with the things that you're dealing with. You know, that you find yourself struggling over and over and over. You know, you have to really, really start going deep into yourself. Anybody can say, I'm a new you. You know, anybody can say that. You know, but if you're not trying to better yourself, you know, and work on yourself, you know, how can you say you're a new you? You're not. You know, you have to be patient. You do. You know, you really do have to be patient. Let me see. I'm going to talk a few, and then I'm going to read this last little bit. But, yes, guys. I just, you know, have noticed, you know, that a lot of us guys out here are struggling with different things in your life that you're facing every day. I just want to tell you guys, you're not the only one that's, you know, struggling. You know, just like how, you know, if y'all have watched my videos from last year, you know, I had something that I was struggling with, you know, and I had to take a moment and allow myself to process it and go through it. You know, you have to allow yourself to understand, you know, what you're struggling with, you know, and you have to come to reality and ask yourself, what type of life do you really want for yourself? You know, because a lot of times we speak on the things that we want in life, but we don't stand by those things. You know, you have to start being true to yourself. I mean, that's on some real shit. You know, you have to know what your worth is, you know, and don't be afraid to learn about yourself. Don't be afraid of that. It's never too late to learn about yourself. It's not, you know. Don't struggle by yourself. You know, if you have someone that you can go to that can guide you, to help you, let them. Don't be afraid to ask for help, whatever you're struggling with. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, and I want to talk to the ones out there that is struggling of committing suicide. Whatever you do, don't give up. The dark cloud is over you right now. And I know you're telling yourself over and over that you don't want to get out of that bed. Sometimes life gets us like that. You know, sometimes we do say we're tired. You know, but life is beautiful. It is. You know, if you're dealing with mental illness and that's why you feel like you want to commit suicide, I advise you to don't be afraid to tell someone that you're dealing with your mental. Talk to somebody. You know, I know a lot of, you know, places they don't have programs about mental illness, and I feel like that is the biggest thing that they need to be focusing on right now. Because I feel like COVID have really played a big part in a lot of people's mental. Because a lot of times, I ain't gonna say a lot of times, I'm gonna put it like this, played a big part. Because during COVID, you didn't have no choice to be alone. And a lot of people that were single and was never alone, to just sit there alone, it fucked with their mental some. Because a lot of times people are afraid to be alone. They are. So don't be afraid to talk about your mental. You know, if you have a close friend, you know, a close family member, someone that you love, someone that you truly, truly trust, express how you're feeling. If your mental is fucked up, tell them, my mental fucked up right now. That's why I wasn't afraid, you know, the situation that I went through, because, baby, you know. But you have to break the curse. And that's the biggest thing that I am going to preach in 2024. We have to break those old habits. We do. We have to program positive thoughts in our mind. Stop speaking down on yourself. Always speak on yourself in a positive way, no matter what you're dealing with. And another thing, don't always go around people and speak on negative things about your life. Start learning to speak on positive things about your life. Because a lot of times we don't realize that when you speak on negative things about your life, everybody is not going to look at that in a good way. And when you start speaking on things to that person in a positive way, they're going to find the negative out of it. So start learning how to speak. I don't care if it's your close friends, because you gotta give yourself a reality check on your friends. You do, because all your friends are not going to have your back completely. They're not. Because a lot of your friends are still on that negative mindset. And a lot of your friends, you know, would throw shit back in your face. You know, and you don't need to surround yourself with anybody that throws stuff back in your face. For one, when they do that, they're not good for you. They're against you. Because I feel like nobody should get anything thrown back in their face. Period. Because I feel like if you're being vulnerable and you're being true to your friend, thinking that your friend or family member, whoever it may be, being truthful to you, but all along they're using your truth against you. You know, you have to watch. You have to watch your company that you surround yourself and watch how you speak. You know, start speaking on anything about your life. Speak on it in a positive way. Nobody don't need to know anything negative that's going on in your life but you. Now, I can understand if you have a person that you're close to and you might want to speak on something that's going on in your life in a negative way, then hey, but make sure that person that you're speaking on, make sure that person keep it to their self and their self only. So, remember, speak on your life in a positive way. Tell people the positive thing that's going on in your life. Stop telling people the negative things that goes on in your life. Break the curse, y'all. We're programming our mind to speak to people the negative things that goes on in our life. That's why you find yourself, when you're speaking to someone on some positive stuff going on in your life, they brush you off. They don't want to hear the shit. Because they're so used to you telling them nothing but negative things in your life. That's just like if you're in a relationship. Don't speak on your partner to anyone in a negative way. I don't give a fuck. If that person did something horrible to you, don't. Whatever you and that partner is dealing with in a negative way, you keep it between you and your partner. You know, and it's so crazy that, you know, out of 16 years of marriage, I can say this is the first time that me and my husband allowed any outsiders to know a negative thing in our life. And that's on some true shit, y'all. Because one thing about it, when we spoke on each other in a positive way, regardless of what we was dealing with. But the situation that we brought ourselves in, God knew we had to go to the ones that we love. You know. But you got to learn how to speak on yourself in a positive way. Carry yourself in a positive way. You know, get your shit together. Okay, I'm going to read this and I am going to get off. And I'm going to read a couple questions real quick. Let me go down and see. I'm going to shout out a couple people, y'all. Okay. Hello, my beautiful Felicia. Hello, my beautiful Stacy. Hello, my cousin Tiffany. Hello, my beautiful, beautiful Marsha. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to shout out a lot of you guys. Okay. I truly believe that every single person has to go through something that absolutely destroys them. I feel like that, and like I told you guys, this is the first time that I ever went through a struggle of someone, or something like fuck my mental up, y'all. Like, yeah, it did, But you have to figure out, that's why I say I am glad that God brought me through that, because it allowed me to realize what was the biggest picture of it all. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with my phone. I guess my phone must have froze. So I'm going to start from this, y'all. Let me tell you, until you are broken, you don't know what you're really made of. And give you the opportunity, the ability to build yourself up all over again. I feel like the hardest thing is learning of yourself. Because some struggles are going to take you to give your own self a reality check, and I feel like some struggles teach you a lesson, That's why I tell you guys, watch the choices that you make in your life. And we have to program in our mind and keep it in a positive mindset. And realize we cannot beat ourselves up of the things that's out of our control. We can't. All we can do is let God guide us and try to keep those positive thoughts in our mind. I know it's easy to say that. I know. Try it. It works. Trust me, it does. But I hope you guys enjoy today's podcast. I hope the things that I talked about, I hope it can help you guys out there, to try to be a better you. It's beautiful to feel good about yourself. It's beautiful to learn about yourself, and remember what I told you guys earlier. It's okay to say that you're not okay. Stop telling yourself that you're okay when you're not okay. And I'm learning, I'm doing good. I tell my homegirls, I'm not okay, And I just want to do some shout outs, because a lot of times in our life, we take advantage of the ones that we truly love. We don't recognize what trueness, is, I just want to tell you guys out there that have helped me through the years, the ones out there have watched me, struggle through things in my life. I appreciate you guys. I really do, and one thing I can say that the ones that have came in my life and the ones that's not in my life anymore, I must say that they did give me some good, positive uplifting. I must say that, regardless if they're not in my life at this moment, because everybody is not going to move forward with you. Some people are going to be left behind, but one thing I can say that the ones that have came across in my life, they have gave me some uplifting, positive, advice, and I appreciate that. I really do, And another thing I want to say before I get off, I want you guys to start loving on your loved ones real bad, like real bad. You know, people, just start loving on your loved ones. You know, I'm going to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that now. That's a whole nother podcast. But just love on your loved ones. You know, appreciate your loved ones. You know, give people out there hugs. You know, everybody needs a hug out there. And I tell you guys that all the time. You know, give hugs. And I'm going to burn my sage before I go. And hopefully, my damn Facebook shit be acting up, y'all. I don't get. Where's my lighter? Okay. I'm gonna burn my sage. Okay. For the ones out there that are struggling right now of sickness, don't allow your sickness to take control of your life. I know you're tired. I know you're asking yourself, why me? I want you to change your mindset. Because we have to realize some of our sickness come from us not taking care of ourselves. We think that we was taking care of our bodies, but we really wasn't. And then another thing that you have to say to yourself, look what all those different chemicals and stuff that they put in these foods that cause cancer, cause all kind of stuff, you know. But I want you to find something small in your life that brings a smile to your face, that brings happiness to you. And you focus on that. Focus on that. If you are still able to move around, pull up little videos to show you how to do some type of little exercise sitting down. Keep your body moving. You know, start researching on your sickness. You know, because a lot of times people don't realize the medication that you're taking, your body is rejecting that. And it's causing other sickness. You know, because we have it so programmed that the doctors are telling us we have to take that, we have to take that, we have to take that. But really, if you sit back and you start finding old ways to heal things, you know, start learning how to do things, start eating better, start watching what you're putting inside of your body, you know. And for the ones out there are struggling of being alone, it's nothing wrong of being alone. You have to get out of your mind that was programmed that being alone, oh my God, like it's the end of the world. It's not. Sometimes God wants you to be alone to learn about yourself. But you're so focused on the negative of being alone, you're not trying to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself if you find yourself alone. That means if you're not in a relationship with anybody, because God is giving you a moment for you to learn about yourself. You know, so don't look at yourself as being alone in a negative way. Look at yourself being alone in a positive way. Struggling with finance. You're going to have to find ways to better yourself, because if you're struggling with finance, it's something that you're doing, it's not right, you know. So you got to work on yourself. Work on yourself. Struggling with death. Struggling with death is a process. Everybody deal with grief in a different way. You have to deal with your grief the way you know how to deal with it. But remember, Out of all the things that you're struggling with, do not allow that to take control of your life. Remember that. Don't let the things that you're struggling with take control of your life. You know, and if you're struggling with healing, that's a process. It is. You know, it's a process. You know, and I'm learning how to heal my pain. You know, I'm learning how to heal myself. You know, and I realized that when it came to pain, I never healed myself. I never allowed myself to be vulnerable when it came to pain. You know, and when I say vulnerable, I'm not saying, you know, if you're looking at vulnerable as when that pain hits you, you just spaz out and then boom, you back to normal. I'm talking about being vulnerable, you know, to allow that pain to just come out. And I had to allow myself, you know, because I have held in so much pain, you know, through my life that I didn't realize that I was pacifying that pain. So I had to release that, you know, and it's things in your life that you know that you need to work on. Work on those things. Don't be afraid to work on those things. You know, if you're going to preach that you're going to be a better person, live by it. Do those things. You don't want to leave this earth that people have negative thoughts of you. You know, you don't want to leave this earth like that. You know, and for the ones out there, stop being mean. You know, stop having that energy. Learn how to soften yourself up. You know, there's so many people out there that is so mean. That's why they don't realize why people don't like to be around them. You know, that could be family members. You know, that could be parents. You wonder why your kids don't come around you, you know, because you're mean, like the energy. Release that. You know, work on that. You know, but thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I see you guys next Thursday. Mardi Gras season is coming up, which I cannot wait. You know, what's so crazy is my mom's birthday is February the 12th. And Mardi Gras is February 13th. You know, a couple of the family members from Atlanta, we're going to celebrate my mom in New Orleans for the Zulu parade. You know, because my mom, you know, she loved Mardi Gras. You know, so we're going to celebrate her, you know, bring nothing but love and positive energy, you know, because I know that's what my mom would have wanted. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Remember, guys, remember, you're beautiful. You have to learn how to bring that beautiful out of you. Be positive with yourself. Speak on yourself in a positive way. Speak on your life in a positive way. Remember that. Sending nothing but positive energy your way. You know, and another thing too, a lot of you guys have asked me where I get my sage from. I usually order my sage through Amazon. But $5 below, they carry sage. Yaya's, they carry sage. Yaya's, I go there and get my charms, you know. But basically, my sage, I ordered from Amazon. I do. Because I'm real big about burning my sage. I burn my sage through the house. You know, I walk outside, burn it through the, you know, all the way around my house. I am so good about, you know, burning sage. You know, I love good, positive energy. You know, that's why my vibe is always in a good, positive mood. It is. You know, you have to teach yourself, you know, but you'll get there. Trust me, you'll get there. You will. You know, it don't happen overnight, but you'll get there. You'll understand where I'm coming from. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know if this is going to be a whole video, a half a video, because, you know, Facebook gets on my nerves. They always want to mess with your live and stuff. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Put this down. Nothing but peace and love. Y'all see my locks?